One of our three deceivers once crashed a press conference. You can let us know who you think it is by voting along in the chat. Now let's find out who's telling the truth and who is a chump. Welcome to Chump, everybody, the Rooster Teeth game show all about lying and deception. I'm your host, Jeremy Dooley, and this is the RTX version of Chump. That's why it's at a weird time on a weird day, because that's what we do at RTX. We scramble everything up for the event of it. But we have a great list of deceivers for this show. It's time to introduce them. Oh, I'm so sorry, Mike. Starting with deceiver number one, Alfredo Diaz returns to the deceiving chair.
I'm hoping to lie today.
Back. Okay. Now we have two deceivers who have never been in this chair before on the deceiving side, starting with Mr. Jack Patillo for the first time as a deceiver on Chump. Ooh, look at that DJ Jong merch. Ooh. And our very, very special guest for this episode, Mr. James Buckley, is joining us. Welcome to Chump, James.
Buckles.
Now, seeing that list of characters, you know there's only one person who's going to be able to tell if they're telling the truth or telling a lie. And today, that is going to be Mr. Gavin Free returns to the contestant seat. Ready to deduce? Ready to sleuth? How was my intro? Is it good, Gav?
Right.
You like it?
It's really
Yeah.
It was good.
I like.
I felt like I was missing
forgot
something.
you were doing that.
No, it was missing nothing. It was absolutely missing nothing. So, yeah. Gavin, you've been the contestant multiple times here on Chump. Alfredo, you've been the deceiver multiple times here on Chump. But we have two brand new deceivers because Jack, you've been on the show a lot, but you've never been in the deceiving chair before.
Last time I was on, I just schooled you guys, and so now you're like, okay, you can't be a contestant anymore. So I guess I'm a deceiver.
That was your redemption round. That one. That went really well.
Your father believed in me,
you're gonna lie to
Jeremy.
Gavin.
Your father believed in me.
Yeah, I don't know if he's watching right now. I think we've thrown him off with the time and day and everything like that. Yeah, he's doing something. But James, first time on the show, you've confidently said multiple times that Gavin will know when you're lying. Do you think you're going to be able to fool him?
Listen, sometimes I underestimate how much of a fool Gavin is. So
Ooh. Okay.
sometimes there's some conversations I've had with Gavin. I go, oh yeah, no, you're actually a bit stupid, aren't you? So I'm hoping that happens today.
You just put your phone down mid conversation, just like he's a fool.
Well, I've learned something today. So for you watching, you're also voting along. You are your own team. You know how Chump works. It's you, the audience, versus Gavin, the contestant, versus the three deceivers. Whoever has the least. Gavin, you gotta be kidding
There
me.
you go.
Yeah,
He said he has a backup just in case.
It's showing the thermometer icon, so that's good. We love that.
Hey, look at that!
Nice.
Look at that
I
12-year-old
look
boy.
even better. Nice shirt for there. So whoever has the least amount of points at the end of the episode is the Chump. Also, we're filling the full hour here for Chump. Normally, Chump is only about 45 minutes or so. So, in all likelihood, Chump Change, the thing that's normally the post show for first members, is going to be live. Then you can watch it as we talk about the stories we didn't get to hear. So, with that being said, it's time to move on to our first game, which is called Pushing the Envelope.
Still Gavin.
I have three envelopes here. Is he?
I don't see
I
him.
just heard he's
Still
back.
looks like a 12-year-old. Oh, there he is.
There we
All
go. It's a piece
All
of
right, Gavin.
shit.
We're playing Pushing the Envelope, Gav. So that's the one where I have one true fact about each of the three deceivers in these envelopes. I'm going to shuffle them up and redistribute them. They might get their own fact. They might get someone else's. Regardless, Gavin's going to question them for 60 seconds about the fact they received. If it's their own fact, they answer his questions truthfully. If it's someone else's fact, they lie. Try to get Gavin to think that that fact is about them. So without further ado, it's time to hand out these facts. Starting with Alfredo. Alfredo once got sent to the school administration's office and ended up as their personal assistant. Once got sent to the school's administration office and ended up as their personal assistant. Jack Patillo.
That's me.
Once cost his sports team a win in the finals.
Question, Jeremy. I thought I was supposed to get somebody else's.
Well, you know what? Sometimes it just works out that way.
Okay.
And then James Buckley once crashed a press conference. So those are your 3 facts. Audience, you are voting on one fact specifically, and that is who cost their sports team a win in the finals. Jack is claiming that this fact is about him. So as you hear the stories come out, you can see if you believe Jack, or if you think it's about Alfredo, or if you think it's about James, and you can cast your votes in the chat. 2 points if you get that right. So best of luck to you there. Gavin, you have 60 seconds to question each of them. Who do you want to start with here?
I think I'll start with liar.
Okay, so let's go with Fredo. All right, so once went was once sent to the school's administration office and ended up as their personal assistant. So Gavin, 60 seconds on the clock. Ready, get set, go.
What got you sent to said office, Frady?
I threw gum at my friend and they got me in trouble. I was very young at the time.
What do you mean?
Well,
they
not
got
too
you
young,
in
like
trouble
middle school.
If you threw the gum, did you get you in trouble?
Well, I got in trouble for throwing the gum. Yeah.
All right. So you got yourself in trouble. All right. How did you end up as the assistant once you arrived at the office?
So I got in trouble and I got to the office, got to the principal's office, and he was like, look, you're a good student. You got straight A's. But he was like, I know you could be a little shit. So I ended up just, instead of getting detention, having to help and assist because he knew I was good at just like being helpful. I already helped the teacher a ton of times.
What were you doing as the assistant? What was your
just filing papers like alphabetically and stuff like that?
Papers. Where did the
papers together? In the cabinet. Where else would they go?
Papers went in a cabinet. All right.
Gavin did want to grab a pen before this, so Gavin is keeping track.
Papers,
all right, that is your
outgoing mail. All right.
So Gavin, who would you like to go? Who would you like to go
down
next?
the line. I'm going to go with Jack Patillo. That's 2 T's, 2 L's.
Yep, that is how you spell that. Once cost his sports team a win in the finals. Gavin, 60 seconds on the clock to question Jack. Ready, get set, go.
Jack, have you ever played a sport?
I have. I've beaten you in a sport, Gavin.
No, you beat me in tennis. That's true. What sport did you lose in the finals?
This was soccer, actually.
Was it the Euro 2020 final?
No.
Oh, okay. What was the final? Was it like a school thing?
Yeah, well, not school. It was a 5th grade soccer group, and I was part of this thing. And I only went to like a couple games because I was forced to. And apparently, I ended up in a finals game, and they had to play me.
Explain the offside rule.
No one knows the offside rule.
What position did you play?
I was like midfielder, and I didn't know what I was doing though. Like right side midfield.
Who invented soccer? Was it Stephen or James football?
I think it was James football invented it.
James football. Good info there.
You're welcome.
All right, Gav. That leaves 1 round of questioning remaining. That is for Mr. James Buckley, whose fact is that he once crashed a press conference. Gavin, you have 60 seconds to question James. Ready, get set, go.
Did you crash this press conference in character as James from The Inbetweeners?
Well, that's
Jay
confusing.
from The Inbetweeners.
Yeah, okay, right. Not really, but sort of.
What was the press conference?
Yeah. It was a heavyweight boxing match.
Did they get pissed off?
And it was it. No, I think they were all right with it. They saw the funny side of it, but I was worried that I was going to piss one of them off. And turns out heavyweight boxers are quite big.
Were you nervous before you did it?
Incredibly nervous. Really, really nervous. It's probably the most nervous
Top
I've
three?
ever been in my life. The top,
Yeah, I can see that.
easily.
Why did you do this?
Just so I could go to the fight.
Some of these questions, were you nervous? Where did the paper go? And who invented
cabinet.
football?
It's so suspicious about cabinets. What is this cabinet you speak of? This mystical cabinet, pray.
A cabinet
Pray
for
tell.
filing. Unheard of.
Wait, is that supposed to throw me off? Like a cabinet?
Gavin, you've had all of your questioning here. And audience, remember, you are voting on who cost their sports team win in the finals. So, Gav, you've heard everybody. We don't need your official answers yet, but having questioned everyone, is there anyone you're totally not believing? Is there any plot holes you think you found? How you feeling here?
I'm feeling immediately that possibly Jack and Frady are lying, but I don't know whether they're lying or whether they're just doing what I like to call like bullshit truthing, where it's actually true and they're making it sound like a load of shite. But I'm still a bit little bit.
You didn't ask me any questions. Like, you asked me nothing about
Explain the offside
who
rule.
invented soccer. Okay.
He did say I went to 2 practices maybe, and Gab goes, well, explain this rule to me then. All right, yeah, we're gonna lock in the audience answer. Thank you for playing round 1, audience, and best of luck to you in the first game. And then Gab, what we're gonna do with you is go down the line from Fredo to Jack to James, and you just need to tell me if you think they're telling the truth or they're telling a lie. Starting with Alfredo, got sent to the school administration's office and became a personal assistant. Is Fredo telling the truth or is Fredo telling a lie?
It was too much cabinets, so I'm just gonna say a lie on that one.
Do you want to lock that in?
Yeah, why not?
Let's lock in. Fredo is telling a lie. On to Jack. Cost his sports team a win in the finals. Is Jack telling the truth or is Jack telling a lie?
Lie. These are probably true, the both of these. It's going to annoy me. Lie.
Lock it in. All right, Jack is locked in as a lie.
But
On to James. Crashing a press conference. Is James Buckley telling the truth or telling a lie?
I think I've seen it. I'll be honest. I think I've seen the clip. I'm a fan of Buckley, all right? He's got that issue. He's famous, and I like him. I know a lot about him. All right, let's go truth.
Going true on James. Let's lock in James as telling the truth. I think I've seen it.
I think I've seen that thing.
Before we reveal the answers here, audience, let's see who you thought cost their team a win in the finals.
Yeah,
Who cost that win,
camera,
audience? 45. Oh, very close, actually. 45% think Alfredo, 32 for James, 23 for Jack. So actually a very close spread, but they have gone for Alfredo. So you're hoping that Gavin is correct here. And so let's go down the line and see, starting with Alfredo. Got sent to the school administration's office and became the personal assistant. You thought he was telling a lie. I can reveal Fredo was telling a lie. Yes, Gavin, very well done. There was no cabinet. that face.
I never got in trouble in school.
Cabinet.
He was a goody. Jack cost his sports team a win in the finals. You thought Jack was telling a lie, and I can reveal that Jack was telling a lie. Yes, Gavin, also very well done. Sorted that one out. And you thought maybe you had seen a clip of James crashing a heavyweight press conference. So you thought he was telling the truth. And yes, indeed, James Buckley was telling the truth about crashing that press conference. Very well done, Gavin.
Thank you.
Which also means that Fredo and Jack had their stories swapped. So Alfredo was indeed the one who cost his team a win in the finals. When he was forced to play goalie apparently, and was not used to that. So we're gonna hear more about that in Chump Change. But audience, it means you got it right. So that means you get 2 points for getting that correct. And Gavin, you got all of them right, which means you also get 2 points there. So that's a good step forward there for Gab. 2 for him, 2 for the audience. None yet for the deceivers, but in the next couple of
Good
games.
step forward? What does that mean?
Yeah, for Gav. For the contestant has it rough. Oh, wait, did they have it wrong? A step forward, step in the right direction.
I was confused there.
This episode of Chump is brought to you by DoorDash. Did you get all the way home from the store and realize you forgot that one thing that sent you to the store in the first place? Well, no sweat. Just have DoorDash grab it for you. DoorDash can bring you drinks, snacks, and even household essentials in 30 minutes or less. Ordering is easy. Open the DoorDash app, choose what you want from where you want, and your items will be left at your door with the contactless delivery drop-off setting. DoorDash is super easy to use. I love using it whenever I'm doing Chump because I can schedule when I want my food delivered. So I decide what I want for dinner after Chump, set it to deliver as soon as Chump is going to be done. I leave the office and my food is right there outside the door waiting for me. Super easy to use and very, very convenient for when you're a busy person like I am. For a limited time, you can get 25% off and 0 delivery fees on your first order of $15 or more when you download the DoorDash app and enter the code CHUMP2021. That's 25% off up to a $10 value and 0 delivery fees on your first order when you download the DoorDash app in the App Store and use the code CHUMP2021. Remember, that's code CHUMP2021 for 25% off your first order with DoorDash. Subject to change, terms apply. Thank you very much, DoorDash, for sponsoring this episode. And now, back to the show. Oh, well, here's the thing. In the next 2 games, the deceivers have a chance to get 2 points per round, whereas Gavin and the audience can only get 1, a maximum of 1 per round. So there's still plenty of time to catch up, make up the difference as we go into our second game, which is called What's in Your House. All right, in this game, each of our 3 deceivers is going to describe a bizarre item that they have in their house. I'm going to go down the line. They're going to give a 1-sentence description of this item. Gavin is then going to question each of them up to my discretion. I'll tell them when to move on to the next person to get more information about the item, where it came from, why they have it, what's it look like, different things like that, to try to determine who has the real item. Audience, you're voting along on who has the real item, trying to sort out who's making stuff up. So, without further ado, like I said, we're going to go down the line and just get a 1-sentence description of this item. Starting with Fredo. Alfredo, what is in your house?
I have just ordered in for my dog, Lil Gabu, is a poop catcher.
A poop catcher for Gabu. Jack, what is in your house?
I have a Batman action figure that has been spray painted gold.
A gold Batman. Gold Batman. James, what is in your house?
I have a stuffed bat. Not painted gold, but...
A stuffed bat. So we have a stuffed bat, a gold Batman, and a poop catcher. Gavin, who do you want to question about their item first?
Let's start with Jack Patillo.
Starting with the gold Batman. There's no time limit here. I'll just tell you when you've had enough. So whenever you're ready, begin your questioning.
Where'd you get this bat, Batman.
So
From the
captured him.
shelf, man.
No. When I lived in California, my friends at I Am 8-Bit, the sort of like video game art collective things, they would do weird stuff, and they had one, and so I just took it. I mean, they
It was
gave it to me, but
gold. You didn't spray it gold.
yeah, no, it was already gold. It's yeah.
Oh, explain this to me. Why have I known you about 13 years and you've never once mentioned a gold Batman?
Because I don't know what you have in your house. Do you know everything I have in my house?
Some stuff. I've been in there.
What was it? Have you been to my house recently?
No, but at some point. No, yeah, I did go recently.
All right, let's flip this. I'm going to ask you questions now.
No. Where's the bat?
What was that?
Where is it? Where'd you keep it? Day to day.
I mean, it's right here now, but it's in my office. Like I have you can see I have all kinds of random crap behind me. It's been on this shelf behind me a couple times. It's moved around. It's over there. Now it's right here, so I could see it.
Is it like is it like a sheen or is it like a matte gold?
It's like that spray painted kind of sheeny. It's old now, so it's not as good. Like some of the
Old gold.
where the arms have moved have worn off. But I mean, it's
So
it was really shiny at one point.
You're still playing with it enough to rub some of the gold off.
Move it around a little bit, not a whole lot.
Okay.
Writing that down.
Gav, you know what? You seem no. That was too much of a pause. I'm going to stop you. That was too much. Like, here's the thing.
I was right.
You gotta have them ready.
Gavin explains offsides to me.
Shouldn't we play the game and then I'll do it in the post show? Yeah.
Sounds good. All right. Who do you want to question next, Gavin?
Let's keep it on theme of bats. Let's go to
Bats.
Buckley and his bat.
And the stuffed bat. All right, Gavin. Whenever you're ready, begin your questioning to James.
Where'd you get this bat, man?
Don't actually know. I don't know where it came from. It's in my house. You know why we got it?
So was it like, did Claire potentially bring it in?
I think so, yeah. I think it might have something to do with her. But it's in my house, so it's mine
She does
now.
she likes weird
Cyril.
stuff, doesn't she? She likes
She's an odd
serial killers.
She's an
and-
odd little lady. Yeah, she's
Halloween.
into all that.
How big is the bat?
Yeah.
Is it a real bat?
It's a real bat. Yeah, I'd say it's about the wingspan's probably about 6 inches, 7 inches.
I like that you're looking at it.
Yeah, it's got it right here.
Looking... Does it have teeth? Can you see its mouth?
It has got teeth. Yes,
How many?
I've not counted the teeth. There's some teeth in there.
I
There's
just
more
don't
than
know why
one.
you don't. Why don't you know where it came from? You must
I don't know where it came from, but it's
Not
got
helping me
googly
at all.
eyes.
googly eyes. Well, the real eyes, I
Yeah.
assume, have faded away over time.
Yeah, I
How
think
long
they've
have you had it?
realised. I don't know. I don't know where it came from, but I've got it.
What is
It's just one of life's little mysteries. I've not asked him. Never asked the kid's opinion on the bat.
What's it like on a shelf or what? Like what's it in? Is it on?
was
Is it
on
like
a
nailed to
shelf.
a board.
It was on a shelf in our kitchen. It
But
was
it's
on
not
a
like
big.
a loose dead bat. Like what is it mounted?
Oh, it is mounted in a frame between two pieces of glass.
Ah, what colour's the frame?
It's just wood colour.
Wood colour. Glass on it? Just open wood frame?
Glass. There's
Is that in a
two
box?
panes of glass, one on the back and one, so you can see straight through it.
Oh. Which way do you face it? At the wall or at you?
I don't want to look at his bum.
All right, Gav.
That would be
That's it. That would just be odd. That would be odd. All right, Gav. There's your
Knowing
question.
where it came from really threw me off on my questions. I didn't know where to go after that.
You were really stuck on that. Was the cabinet level of stuck. All right, and then so that leaves Alfredo with the poop catcher. Gavin, whenever you're ready, you can question Alfredo.
When did you get this poop catcher?
It came in yesterday.
Okay. All right. And what does it do? Oh, it catches poop, but like, how does it work?
Yeah, so it's a little clip. It's a little soft clip, and it's got a little like soft on the inside, and just clips on to Gabu's like little nub, and then there's a plastic bag that you just slide on the end, and then so when she hunches over to do the thing, she just poops right into the bag, and I can pull out the clip, and then just it's like a little flick thing in the video. You just flick it off, and then into a garbage can, and then there you go.
How much effort is it just to pick up a poop off the ground?
I don't know. I'm just buying a bunch of stuff for this dog. This is dope.
So it attaches to the dog. It attaches to the nub.
Her little nub, yeah.
So it's only for nub dogs.
No, but there's one for dogs that don't have like big tails, and then there's also one for different sized dogs.
How many bags did it come with?
It comes with 30 bags. Good enough for, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks. And then you could just buy refills. Like a proprietary thing, I guess.
Yeah, what color is it?
It's light blue, and then the bags are white, or you can get it in black.
Oh, there's the option of black bags.
Yeah, I don't know. I got black.
How does she feel about having something clipped to her little nub?
I have no idea yet, but we'll see what happens.
Oh,
she could just start.
You never used it.
No, I just got it yesterday, and then I was hanging out with you yesterday, and so I don't know. I could clip it her little nub, and then she could just be flinging shit all over this bag, all over the place. I have no idea, but I like buying stuff for her and trying new stuff out, seeing all these little doggy gadgets.
How many cabinets do you own?
You've seen my kitchen. A handful. Yeah, a handful of cabinets.
Handful of cabinets.
I haven't counted each cabinet, but it's a good amount. There are papers in those cabinets.
Describe the shape. So that's my last question.
The
like
shape?
If you had to, if someone was like, draw this for me, what shapes would you be putting down on paper?
So it's a C with a little like in the middle. I guess if you would say the middle back of the C, there's like a clip thing, and then on the top end there's a little slit where you could slide the bag in.
So you're like clipping the letter C to your dog's ass, and it has a slit.
Yeah. I fully do not think
Gav.
this is going to go well for her, but whatever.
There you go, Gav, with the poop catcher. So we've heard about the poop catcher, the Batman, and the bat. Audience, last chance to change your answer. You're voting on which of these items is real. So, Gav, after hearing the stories, what questions do you have in your brain, and what plot holes have you found?
I always go back to like, why mention it? You know, I've been a deceiver. You've got to like look around for something interesting. Is a spray painted Batman that interesting? I feel like Jack has cooler stuff.
But all the cool
Jack has some
stuff
cool
you've
stuff.
seen before.
That's a good
I have
point.
Lego
There was a
Millennium
long
Falcon.
conversation. There was a long conversation on what Gav has not seen.
I don't know on this one. James knew nothing about this bat. He just has a bat. The detail about how it had glass on the front and the back, that made it sound quite real. I don't think I would have come up with that. I would have just probably said it had one piece of glass at the front.
And what about the poop catcher?
Oh, that was Liar's story, so I think that one's horse shit.
Oh, got it. Got it. Understood. All right.
Interesting.
Audience,
Cool.
it's time
Dog
to,
shit catches dog shit.
we're locking in your vote, audience. So you are all locked in now. Okay, Gavin, it's time to go to you. Which of these items is the real item?
I'll be so annoyed if after getting no information, I still pick this as the truth and it was a lie. I think the bat in the in the weird box is real.
Do you want to lock in Do you want to lock in the bat in the weird box as real?
But if it's not, he told me nothing, and I still went for it. It's gonna be.
You just still went for it. It's insulting in a way.
I'm gonna go with that.
Are you locking it in? Okay,
locking it in.
let's lock in the bat in the box. With the silver spoon. Okay, audience, let's see how you voted. Let's see your percentages here. Who has the real item? The bat in the box. This box bat. I think people want the bat in the box to be real. Again, Fredo and Jack, very close. All the voting has been very close tonight. It's not like
very hard,
crazy.
this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in this game, rather than me just say who has the real item, I'm going to count down from 3 and then say reveal, and the person who has the real item will hold the item up and reveal it. So let's see the real item in 3, 2, 1, reveal. Oh my! Look at him!
God.
Oh!
It does have teeth.
That's horrific!
Why?
Horrific!
It's all spread back.
Weird, right? I don't know where it came from. I don't know why we've got this.
You really should know more about that.
Yeah,
I mean,
that blew me away.
what more do you want to know? I'm just up for accepting stuff. I just go,
Just
right,
a box
there's
of
that.
rabies.
Yeah, that was not the answer I was expecting on where it came from. He's like, I don't know, it's here though.
It's a horseshoe bat. I've just learnt that. It says horseshoe bat written on it. I've never noticed that before.
I've never read it.
There you go. It's a horseshoe bat.
A horseshoe bat. So at the end of that one,
don't know why
there
I've
was
got
a. Also, Fredo, is that a real thing? That sounds like it could be a real thing.
It's a real thing, yeah. I don't own it. Why would I put that on Kabu? I can just go and pick up the shit. I don't need a clip on her little nub.
A clip on the nub. Man, yeah, that focus hates you. It hates your guts.
Yeah.
It's like
There's a reason I stopped using this camera.
yeah, well, hey, it stays on. So at the end of that game, the contestant and the audience both get another point for correctly guessing the bat box. Now, you might think that it's over for the deceivers, but that's not necessarily true. We'll see what happens. As we go into our final game of the show, which is called Just the Facts. So in this game, Gavin, I'm going to offer you a single true fact about one of our 3 deceivers, but all 3 of them are going to be defending that fact as if it is about them. You'll question each of them once again up to my discretion. I'll tell you when you've had enough questions to try to determine who this fact is really about. Audience are doing the same thing, voting on who this fact is truly about. And the single fact that we are using today is one of our 3 deceivers once fell out of a tree and landed on their face. Fell out of a tree and landed on their face.
Hey, don't laugh.
This happened to either Alfredo, Jack, or
real.
James. And you're going to, it is real. It's 100% real. And once again, you have as many questions as you, not as you want, but as I want. And I'll tell you when to move on. So who do you want to start with here?
I'm going to start with Buckley.
All right, starting with James. I'll tell you when you've had enough questions. So whenever you're ready, go for it.
All right, James. What tree was it? What kind of tree?
I'm not 100% sure what kind of tree it was. It was a tree.
Were there any bats in the tree?
There were 0 bats.
What
there might have
age
been.
were you?
I was
that's
about
not-
I was about 8 or 9. I don't think I was 10 yet. I think I was around 8 or 9.
And you fell and landed and hit your face, or your face was the first thing to hit the floor?
No, what happened was that the branch snapped. And I landed on the floor by the tree was actually inside I don't know what you'd call that. There was like a wooden border with wood chip in it, and I landed on my face, and I needed to go to the hospital, and I had 11 stitches put into my gum, and I had to live off of smash and spaghetti for about 2 weeks.
So you landed with a bit of that bark shit in your mouth.
No, it wasn't the bark. It was the stuff that was encasing the bark. There was like a wooden border.
Oh.
So the wood was like upright, and my face landed right on the wood. And I had to go to the hospital. It was in a pub garden. So my dad
Who
was
were you
annoyed. My family,
Go on,
my
Early.
cousins. He was really angry. Really spoilt his night out at the pub, it did.
Have you been back to that pub since and had a look at the tree?
I have been back to that pub. I've been back to that pub many a time.
Did you tell the
it
people you were
doesn't-
with?
it's-
See that tree
It's
over
not
there?
a pub. It's not a pub anymore. But it used to be called the Ball Pub in Dagenham, and it was on the Ball roundabout.
Interesting. Why did you put so much faith in this branch that clearly wasn't able to support your weight?
I don't think it was clear that it wasn't. I think it was rotting or something. I gotta be honest, because it was fine. I was in a position where I was on the branch, and I was on the branch, and I was hanging on it for a while, and then it just snapped out of nowhere.
You were sat on it, or you were hanging from the branch?
I was hanging from it like a sloth. And it was, to be fair, it was quite high up. It was really high up, and I panicked and twisted and landed on my face.
All right, Gav, that is your questioning there. I love the way you throw in adjectives like clearly. Like you're sitting there watching it. You're like, clearly that branch isn't going to support this.
I like the defense of
all
why
right.
he trusted the branch wasn't like, well, I was 9. He was like, no, I stand by that decision. It looked like a good
Yeah.
branch. That was-
Yeah,
If I saw that
honestly,
branch
Wasn't
today, I'd
apparently
climb it.
bad.
it was the tree that screwed me over. It lied to me. And that's why I
All
never
right,
trust trees.
Sounded pretty real.
They're
that
out for
one. All right.
blood. Who do you want to go to next?
Next, we'll go to Liar.
Okay. So you have. I'll tell you when you've had enough questions for Fredo, and then we'll move on.
damn
So,
it.
whenever you're ready, begin your questioning.
Where was the tree, Freddy?
My grandma's front yard.
Was it San Fran?
Yeah.
What was the make
Just
of
some-
tree?
I don't know. It's been there since I was born,
The
like well
make of
before I was
tree.
born.
And
was a
yeah,
tree.
Like a car.
It was a tree. It was tall. It had stronger branches because the branch didn't break. I just slipped off of it, and I used to just climb it in my grandma's little like cement front yard. But then she had a little patch where it was like dirt, and there was a big tree there. And I would sometimes use it to jump up and then climb on like the little fire balcony, and then go upstairs to like my grandmother's room, and then just peek
So you
in.
go-
Oh,
Up the tree, back onto the balcony, like to get up.
yeah, the little like fire escape thing. Yeah, because I could reach and then just pull myself up.
What caused you to
but-
fall?
So going up the tree is kind of easy to pull up because then I just also use like the fence that there's a like our little gate fence that's close. So I just kind of kick off the mailbox that was like right like wedged into the fence. And then but like when I would come down, I'd kind of shoot off, and I slipped because it was wet that day, and I busted my chin like wide open.
What
And I
was
even
the
have a-
weather like the day before that day?
I have a scar.
You do have a scar.
Um,
Is that from the
It was moist.
other tree?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was
So
moist.
that's
I had
how
to
you got
go.
that
I had to
scar.
get
Was
8
that-
stitches.
That was 8 stitches?
It was 8 stitches, and I had to watch the whole thing because the doctor had glasses, and so I could see. I was like
Yeah.
sitting there.
Now you're definitely telling the truth about how you got the scar, but you could be lying. You know.
I could be lying
the
about the
truth.
scar. Yeah,
What did you hit your face on?
I just hit my face on. It was like one of the roots. Busted it. Bam.
On the root of the tree.
Yeah, there's some of the root was like, I don't know. It's just the dirt is not fully covering some of it.
Interesting.
All right, Gab. that's your signal. I know your signal is for I have nothing remaining. Interesting. Yes, as AKA no further questions.
I'm screwed on this
So
one.
this is a tough one. This is gonna be a tough one. That leaves Jack, the final one to question about falling out of a tree and landing on his face. You have as many questions. I keep wanting to say as many questions as you want, but I know that's not true. But usually you get through as many as you want, so it is kind of true.
Usually I run out. I feel like you're giving me all the time in the world on this one.
I kind of am, but maybe I'll give you no time on this one. Who knows? Whenever you're ready, begin your questioning.
Jack, have you ever climbed a tree?
I have climbed trees.
And how did you fall out of one?
This one, I was building a treehouse, and I was up a good probably 12 feet in the air, laying on a branch, sawing something, and then the next thing I knew, I was on the ground.
You were sawing something?
I mean, I was sawing a limb of the tree.
Was it the one you were on?
No. It was in front of me. I was stretched out on like a big limb, cutting off some smaller ones, and then I was on the ground. It was very quick fall.
You weren't a child then?
Oh, absolutely, I was a child. I was like 7 or 8.
Oh, but you were building a treehouse.
Yeah, I mean, like my dad helped me build most of it. I was just doing some additional stuff, like I was cleaning up the limbs around it because you don't want like
Bible.
He was.
Why do you know so much
Pretty
about
nice.
carpentry when you were 8?
Well, my father was a carpenter, and he was building an ark.
Okay, so what was the damage when you fell?
Shockingly, I just landed flat, and I was crying, and I got up and just dusted myself off. My dad thought I was dead, and I literally just got up and just like dusted myself off and walked away.
I feel like, where did the saw go when you fell?
Good question. I don't know.
It's stuck
Out
in
of
the
my
ground.
hand and away.
So completely uninjured. What year was this?
I mean, let's say I was 7. That sounds real. So how old? I'm 30. So 32 years ago. Jesus Christ, that hurts to say that. So
how about just 7 years from your
89?
birthday?
89, 90, something like that.
Worked it out backwards from today instead.
Yeah.
How long did the treehouse stay in the tree?
For a good probably decade. I mean, I stopped using it after probably 2 or 3 years after that. But I mean, it was up there. It was funny because like as the tree grew, it got all off kilter and stuff.
Mm.
All right, Gav, I'm going to cut you off there. All right, so that is all of your questioning for this game and for the show in general. Audience, last chance to change your votes if someone managed to convince you. Gav, before we get your final answer, how you feeling about these stories? Any plot holes? This one you seem to be having the most trouble with.
This one is interesting because James and Alfredo both described an injury. Jack didn't, which was interesting. But also, why would you bring up a story where you didn't get hurt? That's what
True.
You like to get to the meta of things like that.
Well, yeah.
You ask why a lot.
Inside the mind.
These were solid lies.
Yeah.
Everyone, I would believe, they all could be true.
That's true. Mm-hmm.
It's very easy.
Well,
to
it's not
pull
true.
from the
I mean,
truth
I know
when
for
you're
a fact that. No, for a fact, 2 of them aren't real. All right, audience, we are locking in your answers for this game and this show. Best of luck to you. Gav, it's time to get your final answer. Who fell out of a tree and landed on their face?
I don't know, Jeremy. I just don't know.
What was the make of tree?
What was the make? Jack was doing something in the tree. I'm going to regret it. I'm going to just say that Jack was telling the truth.
Do you want to lock that in?
That's a good question, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a good one. That's my question for the show.
Yes, he didn't get hurt.
I don't ask a lot of questions on this show.
Look, I got everything else right in this show. I can lose.
So what's one wrong? All right, let's lock in. Let's lock in. Jack is the one who fell out of the tree and landed on his face. There it is. Before we reveal anything, audience, let's see those percentages. Who do you think fell out of a tree and whacked their face? Was it? They think Fredo did. Fredo fell out of grandma's tree and hit the root. Once again, audience has been very split this episode. They've been doing it, but the voting has all been, no one's down in the single digits or anything. So everyone's pretty believable. So Gavin has gone for Jack. The audience has gone for Alfredo. I can reveal that the person who fell out of a tree and landed on their face was Jack Patillo. Gavin Free, that is a perfect game for you.
It was me.
A perfect game for Gavin. Very
Holy
well done.
hell.
Fredo, you do have a scar there. I think Gavin nailed it on you were starting to tell truth about getting stitched up and stuff like that. But
Oh yeah, no, I
pulling
do have
from
a
the
scar.
truth.
It's a Barbie dollhouse. Fucked me up good.
That could have been for another episode.
Yeah, that would have been a great one.
But audience, you did not get that one correct. You
Stupid.
were deceived. So the deceivers do get a point for that round, as well as Gavin gets another point for that round, giving him a perfect game. So that means the final scores of this game are the audience with 3, the contestant with 4, the deceivers with 1 point for fooling the audience at the end, which means on this special RTX episode of Chump, the deceivers are going to be tonight's. Now, I want to thank everyone for coming by and watching this episode. I want to thank so much Alfredo, Jack, and James for coming by and getting some lies and truths out there. Gavin with an excellent win as the contestant. Now, here's the thing. The credits are going to roll here, but don't worry. It's going to pop right back into the intro, and we're going to go into Chump Change, where we're going to talk about the stories that we didn't get to hear. So we'll see you next week for a whole nother game of Chump, I think. Anyways, probably. And then we'll see you in a little bit for some more stories. See you then. Bye, everyone. Thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed RTX, and let me know in the comments down below who managed to fool you this episode. As always, we'll see you next week for more Chump, back on Wednesday, 4 p.m. Central Time. See you then.